Four types of people. According to Buddhism, there are many groups of good and evil people. Good people, who are at the highest level, virtuous, kind, wholesome. The people at this level, from the time of their birth until the time they are mature, and old age and death, do not need anyone to teach them, yet they always know instinctively to practice goodness. These people are saintly beings. Good people who are at the intermediate level. The people in this level first need to be taught to live wholesomely, before they know how to live a life of goodness and virtues. These people are good beings. People who are at the lowest level. The people in this level, despite having been taught carefully, yet refuse to practice goodness, unable to love an ethical life. These people are wicked and ignorant beings. Those who have high education, but they are never willing to practice and cultivate the knowledge they gained. If those who have a broad education and vast knowledge, and who are well-read, but their minds lack faith in religion, naturally, this will often give rise to conceit, looking down on others, as not being their equal in knowledge and understanding. Gradually, this becomes the offense of arrogance, which leads them to reject any other thoughts and philosophies that oppose what they believe. This then gives rise to the mind of highest egotism, meaning they are talented, not cultivating for change but claim to others. They cultivate for change, not attaining enlightenment, but claim to have attained. Furthermore, if you are interested only in examining the Buddhist teachings with the intention of knowing it for fun, or use that knowledge and understanding to cause harm to others, causing people who have not well learned to feel confused, unable to answer questions you raise to them in order for you to laugh and ridicule with arrogance, assuming you are a man of great knowledge, then please do not do this. If those who have vast knowledge and continue to study and examine the philosophical teachings of Buddhism with the intention of learning, to strive for the highest peak, and to gather their mind to cultivate the Buddha Dharma, and vow one day to escape the sea of suffering and the river of ignorance, to cross over to the shore of enlightenment, then that would be excellent, because in the future we will have another future Buddha. Ordinary people who always examine themselves and realize they are just unenlightened, mortal filled with greed, hatred and ignorance, as well as an accumulation of infinite other transgressions in the past, present and future. From realizing this, they develop a sense of shame, and then vow to change their way, be remorseful, repent, and give their best to cultivate, with vigor such as chanting sutra, reciting the Buddha's name, or sitting meditation, seeking to quickly end karmic obstructions, and to attain enlightenment in a very near future. There are various kinds of human nature. However, according to Buddhism, there are four basic kinds of human nature. First, those who suffer themselves due to blindly practicing of wrong teachings and austerities. Second, those by their cruelty, by stealing, by killing, or by other unwholesome acts, cause others to suffer. Third, those who cause other people suffer along with themselves. Fourth, those who do not suffer themselves and cause others to suffer. On the contrary, they save others from suffering. These people abide by the Buddha teachings and practice Dharma. They do not give way to greed, anger, ignorance, killing or stealing. On the contrary, they lead peaceful life with wisdom, according to the Sanjiti Sutta. In the long discourses of the Buddha, there are four types of persons: a certain man who torments himself, or is given to self-tormenting; a certain man who torments others, or is given to torment others; a certain man who torments himself, is given to self-tormenting, torments others, is given to torment others; a certain man, who torments neither himself nor others. Thereby he dwells in this life without craving, released, cool, enjoying bliss, becomes as Brahma. There are 4 more types of persons. Here a man's life benefits himself, but not others, who works for his own good, but not for the good of others. It is he who strives for the abolition of greed, hatred and delusion in himself, but does not encourage others to abolish greed, hatred and delusion. Nor does he do anything for the welfare of others. Here a man's life benefits others, but not himself, who works for the good of others, but not for his own good. It is he who encourages others to abolish human weaknesses and do some services to them, but does not strive for the abolition of his own. Here a man's life benefits neither himself nor others, who works neither for his own good nor for the good of others. It is he who either strives for the abolition of his own weaknesses, nor does he encourage others to abolish others' weaknesses, nor does he do any service to others. Here a man's life benefits both himself and others, who works for his own good, as well as for the good of others. It is he who strives for the abolition of evil thoughts from mind, and at the same time help others to be good. There are 4 other more types of persons. Here a man who lives in darkness and bounds for darkness. Here a man who lives in darkness but bounds for the light. Here a man who lives in the light but bounds for darkness. Here a man who lives in the light and bounds for the light. There are still 4 more types of people. Those who are not asked by anyone of their wholesome deeds, and yet they speak of them voluntarily, let alone if someone did ask. This represents those who are constantly bragging and boasting himself or herself. Only a petty person would do such a thing, because true greatness will be praised without having necessary to announce it to the world. Those who, when asked of others' wholesome deeds, will speak incompletely, sometimes incoherently, much like a child who had just learned to speak, let alone if they were not asked. This condition represents people who hide other people's wholesome deeds, so they would look good in the process. It is an act of a petty person, those who are not asked of others' unwholesome deeds, but speak of them anyway, let alone if they were asked. These are people who kill without weapons. This is to expose other people's mistakes and transgressions, or to ridicule others to make oneself look good. Such an act is a sign of wickedness and evil. Those who keep their unwholesome deeds hidden, lying about it when anyone asks about them, let alone if these deeds were not asked, then certainly their wickedness would never be revealed. This condition represents people who are pretenders, those who tricked others into believing they are saints. They are people of no shame in self or before others. According to the Sigalaka Sutra, the Buddha reminds about 4 types of people who can be seen as foes in disguise. First, the man who takes everything. The man who takes everything can be seen to be a false friend, for 4 reasons. He takes everything. He wants a lot for very little. What he must do, he does out of fear. He seeks his own ends. Second, the great talker. The great talker can be seen to be a false friend, for 4 reasons. He talks of favors in the past. He talks of favors in the future. He mouths empty phrases of goodwill. But when something needs to be done in the present, he pleads inability owing to some disaster. Third, the flatterer. The flatterer can be seen to be a false friend for 4 reasons. He assents to bad actions. He dissents from good actions. He praises you to your face. He disparages you behind your back. Fourth, the fellow spendthrift. The fellow spendthrift can be seen to be a false friend for 4 reasons. He is a companion when you indulge in strong drink. He is a companion when you haunt the streets at unfitting times. He is a companion when you frequent fairs. He is a companion when you indulge in gambling. Also, according to the Sigalaka Sutra, the Buddha reminds about 4 types of people who can be seen to be loyal friends. First, the friend who is a helper. The helpful friend can be seen to be a loyal friend. In 4 ways, he looks after you. When you are inattentive, he looks after your possessions. When you are inattentive, he is a refuge when you are afraid. When some business is to be done, he lets you have twice what you ask for. Second, the friend who is the same in happy and unhappy times. The friend who is the same in happy and unhappy times can be seen to be a loyal friend in 4 ways. He tells you his secrets. He guards your secrets. He does not let you down in misfortune. He would even sacrifice his life for you. Third, the friend who points out what is good for you. The friend who points out what is good for you can be seen to be a loyal friend in 4 ways. He keeps you from wrongdoing. He supports you in doing good. He informs you of what you did not know. He points out the path to heaven. Fourth, the friend who is sympathetic. The sympathetic friend can be seen to be a loyal friend in 4 ways. He does not rejoice at your misfortune. He rejoices at your good fortune. He stops others who speaks against you. He commends others who speak in praise of you. Living beings have developed minds. Living beings in this realm have sharp or developed minds, capable of weighty moral and immoral action than any other living beings. The human realm is a mixture of both pain and pleasure, suffering and happiness. Bodhisattvas always choose this realm as their last existence because it offers opportunity for attaining Buddhahood. The human realm is one of the 6 destinies, gati, within cyclic existence, samsara, into which beings may be born. The sentient thinking being in the desire realm, whose past deeds affect his present condition. Man occupies a very important place in the Buddhist cosmos because he has the power of decision. Human life is a mixture of the happy with a good dash of the bitter. Today there is ceaseless work going on in all directions to improve the world. Scientists are pursuing their methods and experiments with undiminished vigor and determination. Modern discoveries and methods of communication and contact have produced startling results. All these improvements, though they have their advantages and rewards, are entirely material and external within this conflux of mind and body of man. However, there are unexplored marvels to occupy men of science for many years. Really, the world, which the scientists are trying to improve, is, according to the ideas of Buddhism, subject to so much change at all points on its circumference and radii that it is not capable of being made sorrow-free. Our life is so dark with aging, so smothered with death, so bound with change, and these qualities are so inherent in it, even as greenness is to grass, and bitterness to quinine, that not all the magic and power of science can ever transform it. The immortal splendor of an eternal sunlight awaits only those who can use the light of understanding and the culture of conduct to illuminate and guard their path through life's tunnel of darkness and dismay. The people of the world today mark the changing nature of life. Although they see it, they do not keep it in mind, and act with dispassionate discernment. Though change again and again speaks to them, and makes them unhappy, they pursue their mad career of whirling round the wheel of existence, and are twisted and torn between the spokes of agony. According to Buddhist tenets, the life cycle of a sentient being begins when the consciousness enters the womb, and traditionally this has been considered the moment of conception. Another life cycle begins. The Eastern ancient said, "Man is the most sacred and superior being." However, to Buddhism, any living being's life is precious and of the same value. That is to say, no being's life is more precious than the others. According to the Upasaka Sutra, Buddhism agrees that in all living beings, man is endowed with all necessary faculties. Intelligence. Buddhism also agrees that conditions of human beings are not too miserable as those beings in the hell or the hungry ghosts. To Buddhism, human life is difficult to obtain. If we are born as human beings with many qualities difficult to attain, we should try to make our lives meaningful ones. Besides, human beings have intelligence. This precious quality enables us to investigate the true meaning of life and to practice the path to enlightenment. Devout Buddhists should always remember that what rebirth we will take depends on our present actions and habits. Thus, our purpose in this very life is to attain liberation or enlightenment, either becoming liberated from cyclic existence, arhats, or becoming fully enlightened Buddhas. Most of all, we should be able to take advantage of our precious human lives to live to the fullest, moment by moment. To achieve this, we must be mindful of each moment, not being in the here and now when we act. According to Buddhist point of view, we have precious human lives, endowed with many qualities to attain. Because of this, we can make our lives highly meaningful. We often take our lives for granted and dwell on the things that aren't going the way we would like them to. Thinking this way is unrealistic and makes us depressed. However, if we think about the qualities we do have and everything that is going well, we'll have a different and more joyful perspective on life. One of our greatest endowments is our human intelligence. This precious quality enables us to investigate the meaning of life and to practice to advance on the path to enlightenment. If all of our senses, eyes, ears, mental, are intact, we are able to hear the Dharma, read books on it, and think about its meaning. We're so lucky to be born in an historical era when the Buddha has appeared and taught the Dharma. These teachings have been transmitted in a pure from teacher to student, in lineages stemming back to the Buddha. We have the opportunity to have qualified spiritual masters who can teach us. And there are communities of ordained people and Dharma friends who share our interest and encourage us on the path. Those of us who are fortunate to live in countries that cherish religious freedom aren't restricted from learning and practicing the path. In addition, most of us don't live in desperate poverty and thus have enough food, clothing, and shelter to engage in spiritual practice without worrying about basic material needs. Our minds aren't heavily obscured with wrong views, and we are interested in self-development. We have the potential to do great things with our present opportunity. But to appreciate this, we must develop a long-term vision for our cultivation, because our present lives are only a short one. Devout Buddhists should always remember that Our mind streams don't cease when our physical bodies die. Our minds are formless entities. But when they leave our present bodies, at the time of death, they will be reborn in other bodies. What rebirth we'll take depends on our present actions. Therefore, one purpose of our lives can be to prepare for death and future lives. In that way, we can die peacefully, knowing our minds will be propelled towards good rebirths. The other way that we can utilize our lives is to attain liberation or enlightenment. We can become arhats, beings liberated from cyclic existence. Or we can go on to become fully enlightened Buddhas, able to benefit others most effectively. Attaining liberation, our minds will be completely cleansed of all disturbing attitudes. Thus we'll never become angry, jealous or proud again. We no longer feel guilty, anxious or depressed, and all our bad habits will be gone. In addition, if we aspire to attain enlightenment for the benefit of everyone, we'll have spontaneous affection for all beings, and will know the most appropriate ways to help them. Also, another way to take advantage of our precious human lives is to live life to the fullest, moment by moment. There are several ways to do this. One is to be mindful of each moment, being in the here and now as we act. When we eat, we can concentrate on eating, noting the taste and texture of the food. When we walk, we concentrate on the movements involved in walking, without letting our minds wander to any other thoughts. When we go upstairs, we can think, "May I lead all beings to fortunate rebirths, liberation and enlightenment." While washing dishes or clothes, we think, "May I help all beings cleanse their minds of disturbing attitudes and obscurations." When we hand something to another person, we think, "May I be able to satisfy the needs of all beings." We can creatively transform each action by generating the wish to bring happiness to others.